You wake up, reach for your phone, and within 30 seconds of opening your eyes, you've already consumed more stimulation than your ancestors did in an entire week. You scroll short video feeds, check social media notifications, sip caffeinated drinks, and bounce between browser tabs all day long. Yet, despite being surrounded by endless digital entertainment, you feel constantly exhausted, unmotivated, and physically unable to focus on a single task for more than 5 minutes. You aren't lazy, and your brain isn't broken. You are simply suffering from severe dopamine overload. To understand why you feel so drained, you first have to realize that dopamine is not the molecule of pleasure. It is the molecule of anticipation, desire, and motivation. It is the neurochemical driver that tells your brain, "Pay attention, this matters, go get it." In nature, dopamine was designed to motivate us to pursue hard, survival-oriented goals, hunting for food, building shelter, mastering skills, and solving complex problems. In the natural world, effort always came first, followed by a delayed reward. But today, modern technology has completely decoupled effort from reward. You can now access intense, artificially high dopamine spikes with zero physical or mental friction, right from the palm of your hand. When you flood your brain with these high-spike, cheap dopamine triggers, your nervous system responds by attempting to maintain balance, a state known as homeostasis. To protect itself from severe overstimulation, your brain turns down its sensitivity by downregulating its dopamine receptors. Think of it like listening to music through headphones. If the volume is cranked to maximum for hours, your ears adapt to the noise, and normal everyday conversations sound muffled. When your brain downregulates its dopamine receptors, everyday activities like reading a book, writing code, exercising, studying, or building a business feel painfully boring. They simply cannot compete with the artificial high of a high-speed screen. This mechanism creates a dangerous baseline trap. Your natural, day-to-day dopamine level drops far below normal, leaving you in a chronic state of subtle dissatisfaction, brain fog, and restlessness. You feel a constant, anxious itch to check your phone, not because you genuinely enjoy the content, but because you are trying to escape the physical discomfort of a low dopamine baseline. To break free from this cycle, you don't need a radical, agonizing, month-long retreat in the woods. You simply need a systematic, strategic dopamine reset. The first step of a proper reset is to audit and eliminate cheap dopamine. Identify all high-reward, low-effort activities in your routine. Mindless short-form video feeds, infinite scrolling, constant background audio noise, video games, and hyper-palatable junk food. You don't have to live like an ascetic monk forever, but you must establish strict environmental boundaries. Put your phone in a completely different room while working, switch your smartphone screen to grayscale to make it visually unappealing, and enforce a non-negotiable rule. Absolutely no screens for the first hour after waking up and the final hour before bed. The second step is to consciously re-engage with friction. You must retrain your brain to associate dopamine release with effort rather than passive consumption. When you earn dopamine through difficult, high-friction work, such as lifting heavy weights, tackling a complex subject, organizing your workspace, or writing a draft, the neurochemical reward is accompanied by a sustained, steady rise in baseline dopamine rather than a sharp spike followed by a massive crash. Effort itself must become the reward. Finally, you must embrace silence, stillness, and boredom. Boredom is not a defect or a wasted state of time. It is the natural birthplace of deep focus, creative problem-solving, and inner calm. When you allow your mind to sit quietly without immediately reaching for a screen to escape the quiet, your brain gradually begins to upregulate its dopamine receptors back to normal levels. Everyday life starts to feel rich, engaging, and deeply satisfying once again. Stop chasing cheap, artificial spikes. Choose to do the hard things first, and let your natural drive and motivation return on their own. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment.